What if I told you you're sitting on a ticking time bomb that will destroy your chances of living in the US long term? Truth is, you probably are and you don't even know it. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this ticking time bomb is, how it silently ruins your life, and an easy approach that you can use to defuse this bomb before it blows up in your face. So if you love America like I do and want to stay here forever, get ready because we're about to explore things that would make even the toughest bomb squad guy break a sweat. Picture this. You've just thrown your graduation cap in the air, diploma in hand, ready to take down the world, but wait. Did you remember to apply for your OPT 90 days before your end program date? No? Well, congratulations. You've just messed up. The clock to apply for OPT starts ticking well before you graduate. If you miss that window, you'll find yourself with a fancy degree but nowhere to use it. So here's how to dodge this bullet. Set alarms, tie a string around your finger, tattoo the date in your forehead if you have to. Mark your calendar 90 days before your program end date. Start gathering your OPT application materials early. Trust me, you don't want to start scrambling for documents at the last minute. You want to submit your application the moment the 90-day window opens because the early bird gets the work permit, right? So now that you've got that fresh new tattoo in your forehead to make sure you're filing for your OPT on time, I'm going to show you how to disarm the next part of this bomb. And to do that, we need to dive into something everyone loves: health insurance. Just kidding. I know this is just as exciting as watching paint dry, right? But since it's something that could cost you your future here in the US, I think we need to address it. Many F1 students assume their university's health insurance will cover them forever, but you won't. Once you graduate your OPT, you are on your own in the wild world of American health insurance. And the thing is, believe me, medical bills in the US can stack up faster than paperwork at immigration. One trip to the ER without insurance and you could be looking at a bill that makes your tuition look like pocket change. So how do you avoid this financial heart attack waiting to happen? Research your health insurance options well before graduation. Don't wait until last minute. Look into short-term health insurance plans designed specifically for international students and recent graduates. Consider setting aside, a chunk of your budget for health insurance. Yes, it's expensive, I know, but it's a lot cheaper than a surprise hospital bill. Speaking of costs you can't ignore, there's another hidden countdown sneaking up on you, and it's literally about time once again. We already talked about filing your OPT on time, but it's time for another hard truth about time. Goddamn. How many times have I said time this last time around? Anyhow, the problem here is many students think 90 days, that's plenty of time to find a job. Oh my god, you're an optimistic dreamer. So in the real world, job hunting can take months, especially for international students facing visa restrictions. Exceed that 90-day limit and you're not just unemployed, you're potentially deportable. Talk about adding insult to the injury, right? Like, here's how you actually can avoid this. Start your job search early, like yesterday early. Network like your visa depends on it, because it actually does. Attend career fairs, join professional organizations, slide into those LinkedIn DMs, right? Consider part-time or volunteering position in your field. They count towards your employment time and can lead up to full-time opportunities. Have a backup plan. Maybe it's a master's program. Maybe it's a ticket home, which I do not recommend. Just have something in place if the job search starts taking longer than expected. And speaking of things that you don't see coming, you know how in horror movies, the real scare often comes from what you don't see.
Who's ever down there? I'm gonna lock you in now!
Well, welcome to the horror movie of hidden F1 visa fees. Every hidden fee is like a new wire on the bomb. Cut one and there's another. If you don't account for these fees early, it's like watching the countdown race to zero faster than you expected. Savvy's fee, visa application fee, OPT application fee. The list goes on. And don't even get me started on the cost of visa renewals or status changes, right? It's like the government is running a very expensive, very complicated game of surprise, pay up. These fees can add up faster than you can say broke college student. And here's the kicker. Most of them aren't refundable. So if something goes wrong with your application, you're out of luck and out of cash. Here's how to avoid getting buried in fees. Research all potential fees associated with your F1 journey. Knowledge is power, and in this case, money. Create a fee fund. Set aside a portion of your budget specifically for these sneaky charges. Keep an eye out for fee waivers or reduced rates. They are rare, but sometimes, they happen. They do exist. Always double check your applications before submitting. A small mistake could mean paying the fee all over again. Now that you have the fees under control, the final part to defuse this bomb is something even more unpredictable. Many F1 students base their budgets on their tuition and basic living expenses. But here's the thing, life has a funny way of being more expensive than you expect, especially here in the US. Textbooks that can cost more than your monthly food budget. Surprise car repairs, that impulsive purchase of life-size cardboard cut of Jessica Chastain. Hey, no judgments here. These things add up, and before you know it, you're drowning in a sea of unexpected expenses. And here's the real kicker. Running out of money isn't just inconvenient, it can be a direct threat to your visa status. Remember, as an F1 student, you're expected to have sufficient funds to support yourself. Come up short, and you could find yourself in hot water with immigration. So, how do you avoid sinking into this quicksand? Here's your financial lifeline. Create a detailed budget that includes all potential expenses, and then add up another 20% for good measure. Research the real cost of living in your specific area. New York City and small town USA have very different price tags. Look for student discounts on everything. Seriously, flash that student ID like, it's your get out of jail free card. Consider a side hustle that's compatible with your visa status. Just be sure to check with your DSO first. Learn to cook. Your wallet and your taste buds will thank you. Whoa, I think we covered a lot of ground. And the good news is, now that you know what all the traps are, you're not just sitting on a time bomb anymore. You've got the tools to actually defuse it. Plan ahead, budget carefully, and stay one step ahead of the clock. Do this, and you'll defuse the ticking time bomb before it blows up your future. But before you go, remember, there's still other traps out there. In this video, we'll dive into 5 other mistakes F1 students make that could cost you everything.